Hello my dear Capricorn, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between December 1st and December 15, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I use the Modern Spellcasters Tarot by Melanie Marquise and illustrated by Scott Murphy, and I will start shuffling your cards. When I open your deck here, I see that the cards is upside down and we have a Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. That is a little bit contradictory, because the Eight of Pentacles is like when you try to fix something, and the Three of Swords is heartbreak. So I guess that Capricorn is trying to fix a heartbreak. Okay, you want to heal, and maybe you want to heal together with someone else, because Eight of Pentacles is kind of like being called, it's like a couple being called to the well of wisdom together with the divine, to contemplate on what has gone down and what can be made better. So we see here that this man is solving a problem for the animals, building them a house, and it's a squirrel. It's a squirrel and a dog together, and I have seen sometimes dogs are very interested in chasing squirrel. Not all dogs, but many dogs are. And here we have also a wolf howling in the background. So that is the non-domesticated dog. Dogs are for the divine masculine. Squirrels are kind of collecting behavior. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the, yes, okay, the Four of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles. So maybe someone is trying to take more than their share in some way, or maybe they feel like losing their safety if they share. Okay, it can be like this. So someone might feel like they lose their safety if they share, but if they don't share, they give the other one a broken heart, and if they don't share, maybe the other person leaves, so they will get a broken heart. I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world. So here we see the Temperance card. It's talking about that the squirrel, like the victim and the perpetrator, needs to learn from each other with the Temperance card. So I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and I call the six elements: earth, wind, lovers, fire, water, spirits, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Capricorn viewers. So I want my dear Capricorn to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So we saw when I shuffled the cards that what is going on with you is some kind of battle. Some kind of battle when it comes to love. So I'm thinking that that has to do with vulnerability. Like a person needs to be brave enough to show their vulnerability. They can't come intruding in love like a warrior, because if you are approaching like a person that you love like a warrior, they will feel you like the enemy, not like a loving companion. So it might be that many Capricorns are dealing with people that is approaching them like a warrior and are not opening up and being vulnerable. We saw that they try to protect themselves to not have a broken heart. And in that endeavor, they are of course giving the broken heart to a lot of other people. When you try to protect yourself and you don't care about other people, that is when you also don't love other people. You only love yourself, and you don't even love yourself, because if you loved yourself enough, you would be strong enough to show your vulnerability. Some of you is dealing with these kind of people, or you are a person that has like a heart is shut because of previous experience of having a broken heart, and therefore you're going on and breaking other people's heart. Okay, so I also want to take the chance to tell you that Venus is moving from Scorpio to Sagittarius December 2nd. Okay, to Sagittarius. This is Sagittarius. And we have the Queen of, here we have the King of Cups also. The Queen of Cups has come for a lot of people for the past. So I reckon she is the feminine part of Scorpio. The case I see Scorpio more like the King of Cups. Like the feminine vulnerable part of emotions needs to start to awaken. And here we have a Knight of Wands. That's traditionally like a player kind of person, but it's also talking about Sagittarius. Sagittarius is very goal oriented. They want one thing, they want something, but they want it to be perfect. So they are not sticking around if something is getting like too icky, or so they can be also very selfish in that way, because instead of working on a love relationship, maybe they go to another love relationship, so they don't have to have so much problem. They want to live a happy life, but in the end it might be like someone just holding back a lot of their feelings and not sharing really. So that is what it's going to mean for you with Venus moving to Sagittarius instead of Scorpio. Mars is moving from Libra to Scorpio December 9. And Mercury is on the cusp, Sagittarius Capricorn, between Sagittarius and your sign in the start of the month, and stations December 3. And then it starts to move retrograde back into Sagittarius until it stations again the 23rd of December. And I can imagine for Capricorn that this will mean that that you have to go back and check what it is that you really want. So you're not settling with something that is really not what's going to make you happy. And it's talking mostly about communication, because Mercury is communication. Mercury retrograde communication can get all screwed up. So try to figure out, if you get problems in this department, try to figure out what it is that you are not saying, or what you're not communicating about what you really want to have, since it's in Sagittarius. Jupiter is moving direct in Scorpio. Saturn is in late degrees of Sagittarius and are moving direct. Pluto is moving direct in Capricorn, and Uranus is moving retrograde in Aries. But when Saturn is moving in late degrees of Sagittarius, it means that it soon will be entering into your sign, Capricorn. And I don't know really what that is going to mean for you at this point, because I'm not an astrologer. I just see that the cards are always constantly talking and giving astrological references, so I try to keep up to speed with like the surface of it all. So, but it's a great big science, and it's something that I have never been particularly interested in, but here I see it in the cards, so I need to take it in. So we also have the Sun went into Sagittarius the 22nd of November and will move into your sign Capricorn the 22nd of December. We will have the super full moon in Gemini December 3. New moon will be in the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn December 18. A lot is going to happen on the cusp Sagittarius and Capricorn this December. Midwinter solstice, and you're very like, it's not a similar sign. Sagittarius is like this young rebel. They want what they want. They are not going to listen to any reason, and Capricorn does everything to listen to reason and doesn't make any revolutions. So it's something that probably you are going to balance those qualities up a little bit better. Midwinter solstice will happen December 21st, 1628 UTC time. The midwinter solstice is the real reason to why we celebrate Christmas. In Sweden it's called Jul, which means wheel. The spirit equinox is Easter. The midsummer solstice is also celebrated in Sweden with a midsummer pole. Very ancient tradition to fertilize the lands. And then we celebrate Halloween, or in Sweden the Night of All Saints, to replace the fall equinox that actually takes place in September. It is all a part, this is what I want to aim at, this is a part of a very, very ancient calendar, which also the astrological science is a part of. A turn with a wheel to all the astrological signs is called a great year. The length of one cycle of 12 ages is like amazing 25,860 years. So we stay approximately 2,155 years or so in every sign. And we went into the age of Pisces, 68 BC, and we'll go into the age of Aquarius, 2087 AD. It is the stars in the background of the spring equinox that determines in what age we are in. So my point with this is that it's like our ancient ancestor, they lived accordingly with this calendar, and we have it in the background of everything, and like also with the astrological signs that we see as amusing, but it's really a part of an ancient calendar that's talking somewhat about our ancestors' level of technology, and their like how good they were in watching the stars and to calculate time. So that is something to be aware of. So we can't see ourselves as the crown of creation. I think we are a people, like Graham Hancock always say, like with amnesia, and that is because we have went into the Kali Yuga, like the dark ages, and we are coming up, and eventually we are going to be in the golden age again. But it will take some time. It will take like maybe 12,000 years or so. Okay, so. Now, when you know that, I will tune into your reading. Okay, so Capricorn, first part of December 2017 here, and this is your future. And this is your now, and this is the past. So the past, it will be October, November, and we see the Two of Swords. So it's something you have kind of, it's like you have waited for something, or waited for the right time to reveal a decisions of yours, or maybe you have waited for a sign to see what decisions to take. But anyway, it has been a kind of a lone time, or a time when you have contemplating on what's best for you in the long run. And it might be that you have been kind of apart from people, not maybe all people, but important people, that there might have been like silent treatment because of some conflict, and to restore peace you have not been talking to them at all. Okay, so that is in your past, and here you have the now, and here you have, it's this two again, so duality. It's definitely talking about like a significant relationship where there has been silent treatment kind of going on, or some kind of like trying to have peace but without really saying what's bothering you. And here you have the Two of Cups, and it's talking about love. So the love is there. It's just that relationships are complicated, and we want to be feeling safe in our relationship. We want to feel loved. We want to feel appreciated. So if we don't feel like that, it might be that we withdraw from a situation, even if we love the person, or maybe it wasn't you weren't able to take the next step in this relationship because maybe it was lack of love from some of the dualities. Okay, and here in the future we have a Queen of Pentacles, so you're aiming towards greener pastures. Queen of Pentacles is usually Virgo, but might be you, Capricorn, or a Taurus person. So it's talking about stability and love, and maybe it's like you're being ready to start sharing your love again, because the queens, they are very outgiving, and this one is outgiving of earth, nature. So it's like sending out a lot of seeds, unconditional love kind of. So it seems like it will stabilize this situation that might have been like on the balance of something. Like people hanging on the fence, not really knowing if they love someone or not. Okay, so here is your past, Capricorn, and we have the Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands is usually very clear messages and very clear aim towards where you want to go. So it's kind of this Sagittarius energy with like you point with your whole hand towards what you want. It's like you have a deep wish in your soul, and you want this. It's not debatable. Maybe the other person, they might not feel the same about you, or the situation is not it's like it's repelling you in some way because of the twos, but you still want this, so you're very sure. And sometimes the things that we have won to going over a lot of obstacles is the one that we really like, they were really worth having. You know, easy come, easy go. And I think you're really fighting for something here, and it's coming. It's like a deep longing from your soul. And here we have the Three of Swords. So I think the deep longing from your soul is to repair a heartbreak. We had this when I opened the deck, I think. Yes, healing heartbreak, yes. So I think that maybe you are aiming your love towards people that can't really give it back because you want to play car accident. It's like small children when they have been through something that was awful. They want to play it again and again and again until they don't feel like the pain of it all or the trauma of it all anymore. So if you had, for example, parents that were detached from you and weren't able to give you love, maybe they were really very cool and distant. They were up in their head, maybe with their own problems, and they didn't have time to give you the love that you needed as a soul. But your soul still wants this. It still needs this. The needs doesn't change. It's just causing trauma inside of you when you don't get your needs filled. So what you're doing is you're probably seeking up people that is much like those, like the one that caused you the first wound. Either it was with your parents or whomever, it doesn't matter. It might be a past life experience as well, or many different experiences in the same kind of department. But anytime you see a person that's like this, maybe cold and detached and distant and have no ability to give you love, you immediately fall in love with them. And if they would actually start to give you love, maybe you would be bored. So I think, Capricorn, you have a deep trauma that is not specifically like, it's not like attached to you in a way that would make you miserable, but it's attached to you in a way that makes you relive the same stupid situation over and over again. So like with the Eight of Coins, eights are eternity symbols. So it's like you're trying to fix it, you're trying to fix it, you're trying to fix it. So from your point of view, I see that it's a big, like it can be a big problem. You fall in love with the wrong people and they can never give you love, so you never find a beautiful love relationship that can be like with a life partner or so. Or it's like you get bored of them eventually, or it can be like in workplace situation, family situations as well. It doesn't have to be a love situation, but anyways, it's like you are living through the same situation again and again. And from an above perspective, this is you playing car accident until it won't bother you anymore, and you have grown up and you have gone strong and you have had a lot of experience, and it doesn't matter if people hurt you, it won't touch you because you have become whole. So that's from a divine perspective, and it doesn't matter from your soul's perspective if this takes 10,000 years or like 10 days. It doesn't matter, because time is kind of an illusion. We are here in time, in earthly time, but when you come back to where you came from, it might be you just see that 3 days were passed. So time is kind of an illusion. It's very bendable. Okay, so but from your point of view, you want to have this experience here. It's like you are in a video game and you want this video game, this lifetime, to be a good one, and you want to have like all the ingredients to make this life a good one. So this hurt, this trauma that's making you attracting the wrong people is actually really worrisome, because it's affecting the way, the possibility for you to have a happy life in this lifetime. So for you on a personal perspective, it's a problem. Okay, and your soul here, it's just triggering you to go towards these people that doesn't give you the love that you need. Okay, and here we have a Seven of Cups. So that makes you very confused why you are supposed to end up in the same swamp again with the same kind of personalities that again betray you, are not supporting you, they don't love you, they don't give you what you need. So you feel like all confused. Why am I doing this? You feel like it's something wrong with you. And it's something wrong with you, but it's just that you have a wound, and that wound wants to be healed, and it wants to be healed by you kind of not being affected what other people do anymore. Not in the way that you get numb, but that you love yourself enough so it doesn't matter. It's so you, okay, the person doesn't love me. It's obvious. It feels like they love me because we have this beautiful soul connection, but I can't feel the love because this person is not giving it to me. So, and you just strip away the illusion of this Seven of Cups and say, okay, so they don't love me. It's sad, but this is what is. And I love myself, and I value myself and I respect myself. So I don't stay with a person that doesn't show the love to me, because I value myself too much. And that is when you kind of take the step from being a child that is traumatized and victimized to becoming a grown-up that take logical and reasonable decisions for themselves. And that is when you heal. It's like a door, and it's very easy to go through that door if you just let down like the story of it all. Like, well, I want this person to love me. Yes, you wanted your mother to love you. You wanted your father to love you. You wanted your first girlfriend to love you. You wanted your husband to love you, but they didn't. So that's the truth, okay? And it's the truth, and you can't do anything about it, because you can't control other people, and you can't make them love you if they don't. Of course, if you really want someone, maybe you don't give up in courting them, but you can't force them to be in a relationship with you. And maybe that courting, like when you have fought really hard to get what you want, will actually lead to something. But don't court them in a way that makes you lose energy and makes you feel poor and makes you feel like you are not valuable and makes you feel like you are not worth a beautiful love relationship, because you are. And you need to give yourself like that self-respect and that self-love, that space that you can occupy and be in, and you are entitled to be you exactly as you are, and you are supposed to be loved anyway. So it's like a shift in your mentality, and it will make you attract people that is also loving and respecting you. And that is when you heal. So if you want to, you know, not spend the next 10,000 years in this kind of relationship that doesn't give you the food for your soul, just grow up. Just see the reality as it is and take necessary decisions, even if they are the hard ones. Like you need to let go of someone you love because they don't love you. Oh yes, it's not easy, but here comes the strength. So this is when you just align with every little piece of the puzzle that's inside of you, every feeling that's inside of you, everything, every instinct, everything, and you just, okay, so I'm right that this person loves me. I am right that we belong together, but I'm also right with the perception that they don't show love towards me, and I'm also right to be loved. I have the right to be loved. Also, you take all that, like the truth of it all, and it gives you an outcome that only you can decide. So it might be like, okay, I'm the bigger person here. I can stay in this love relationship, and I can give this person love, even if they don't give it back to me, because I feel so strong and I have a lot of love to give. So then that's no problem. But if you feel you get drained, you get like over emotional because the other person doesn't show emotion at all, then it's time to take a decision that's better for you, okay? And it might mean sacrifices, like of really valuable things. But what you really are sacrificing might be the girlfriend from hell, or the boyfriend from hell, or the parent that never gave you any love anyway, or the sibling that always took your toys or whatever. So you see, it's a little bit of a revolution here, that you decide that whatever I am, like my animalistic side, like how I am natural, when I don't try to restrain myself or act like I don't care or act like I don't need what I need or act like accordingly with social rules, when I just align with everything that really is me, it's much easier to love yourself then. Because you also will be able to, you get the strength of all this animalistic sides to you, and you get in tune with nature, and you kind of put in the plug back to the divine. So when you don't follow different rules to be loved, you will be so much more stronger for it, because you will find another connection deep within yourself that is the real connection, like the thing that will be left when you are done with this kind of video game. It's like you're looking like through a looking glass, and what you're seeing in the looking glass is your life, but you are really not that life, or you're not in that life. It's not just Maya, it's just illusion. What you are really is the person that's looking through the looking glass. So the I in the I am is you. And if you align with this source of energy, like your own soul, you get so powerful, and it doesn't matter how other people treat you. It will feel You will feel the pain of it, but it won't get to you. It will be like you are made of something material that just bounce, okay? It will be like, okay, so that was not a nice experience. That person really didn't support me at all. And I told them I felt like that. And then it's over and done with. You don't think of it like all the nights and so you can't sleep and things like this. So here we have the Fool, and the Fool is going on a new journey. It's like you see this, they trust the universe, they trust the natural system of it all, they trust their own instincts, and they trust that whatever my instincts tell me, it's going to make me end up where I'm supposed to be. It's like with nature, everything falls in very beautiful into nature. It's a cruel, nature is cruel. Like you can be, you can eat other people, oh, hopefully not other people, but I think it's sometimes it is as bad to eat other populations as eating other people. So okay, that wanted to come through. Like I see like foxes like a population of their own, and deers are the population of their own, and I eat meat. I still eat meat when I go out to a restaurant, for example, because sometimes I feel very deprived of nourishment. But it really natural. I just stopped eating meat like 2 years ago. I wasn't keen to me anymore. It didn't feel like it attracted me anymore. But sometimes I get like maybe protein deficiency or something, and I want to eat meat still. But when I get a hang of it, I will be able to have protein from another source. So you can't eat you can't eat your fellow, but nature does. So that is what I wanted to aim at. Nature does. The lion eats like other animals. So it's like that. And animals they are carnivores. So they have big like teeth. Human beings has like vegetable teeth. Predator teeth can just go like this. Human teeth can grind like this. We are really vegetarians, but we are also like rats. We can eat whatever, but we don't have the teeth for it, okay, to eat meat or to whatever. But here it's like when you in tune with your nature, with your natural natural instincts, you will be a part of the earth grid again. And that is like it's like everything is happening for a reason. Everything is happening accordingly with a higher plan. It's like you are a part of the dance with the planets and the earth and the nature and everything. So you will be able to do like things that requires a lot of courage, like stepping out from this and still be able to land like in the place that you were supposed to be. It's like not holding so tight to a certain life situation anymore, but being more adventurous, so you can step into any new life situation, and it will be equally good for you because you have centered yourself, so you have a strength deep inside yourself that makes you very, very strong. And we see here the moon, the sun is being reflected like the moon here. So it's interesting symbology in this card. It's the awakened you and the subconscious you is in a perfect harmony, working together, leading you, both your awakened mind, but also your subconscious. So you're just, oh, it feels like right. So I will do that. You can see this in any like police movie, that they are so in tune with their instincts and their intuition, and they are catching the killer. It's kind of this. Okay, so here we had this Two of Swords. It's like you're making a choice, and I think you will take the choice that you will align with you. Like you love yourself, and whatever you want it, and you are going to have it. But sometimes you don't have control over things, like over other people, for example. But it might be that you will be very courageous and be the bigger person and really show love, even though you don't feel loved, because it seems like you're immensely strong and you really want to heal from this past hurt. So it looks like you want to heal a past relationship, and you are feeling strong enough to do it. It seems like this. Or it might be someone coming in, like being very strong and mature and fixing the situation, like taking the adult role in it, and not being so touchy-feely or over-emotional or scared or afraid to lose their face in this. So someone is being very courageous. So that was in the past, and here we have the now. So the now is 10 of Cups. So it seems like this soul, and what it wants is love. And it says that this from Khalil Gibran about love, like follow love wherever it takes you, even if the sword that's hidden beneath its wings will hurt you, because love isn't only here for your amusement or for lifting you up in the skies. It's also here to grind you and take you down to the roots and change the core of you. So love wants to do that with us, and that is why your soul, it doesn't matter for your soul if you take 10,000 years or just tomorrow. It's just like, it's so important to grow. It's so important for the soul to grow and to expand and have new experience. It's not important for the soul to be safe, because it's like the Fool. It just lands in different incarnation, and then it dies maybe with the Fall here and lands in the second incarnation, and in the second, and in the second, and in between there you might be in the heavens, like in an unconditional loving state. So love is in the air here for Capricorn. And yes, and here comes the Lover as well, and it comes underneath the broken heart. So it might be that you still love someone that broke your heart, and you still want, like, your soul feels so very strongly that you still want this person. This kind of, you have a hard time to compromise with that. So it's probably like this, that even if this person doesn't love you back or hurt you in some way, it's still that they have something to teach you that is very important, and you are going to be so grateful for following love and getting this teaching, even if it's very hard in the meantime, and not really getting to your goal to be like in a safe, long-lasting love relationship, but actually having to knucklehead towards someone that's stupid and doesn't love you. But here it seems like love is present and it will conquer something here. It's very, 10 of Cups is the highest card for love in the minor arcana, and here you have the Lover's card from the major arcana. So that's, you also have the 2 of Cups here. So I think really for Capricorn, love is in the air. It can be that you are stepping into a new love relationship because of your you so courageously disregarded your broken heart and the fact that you didn't get like loving feedback, and you decided that, well, I love anyway. And here really central we have the 6 of Pentacles. So it's like you are ready to teach a person about love and teach them how to be in a balanced love relationship. Not just, you know, leave them because they didn't show you enough love, but actually step by step and with very much patience showing them what love is all about, and how they can express love in a more balanced way. So it might be that you have been dealing with a person that's also very hurt and very mangled with their life, and therefore you have a lot of understanding for them. And 6 of Pentacles is like trying to fix the situation with love and harmony. It's very unconditional love again, like with the green in his clothes and with the nature here. And it's again like being the bigger person, like we can see with the Strength card. Like someone really needs to use their strength and their stamina to be able to show love, even if love is not given. So I'm not saying that you should stay with a, you know, abusive perpetrator and try to make them love you. It's not like that, but you know, in the degrees in hell kind of determines how far you're going to have a person away from you. But if they are far away from you and you never want to hear of them again, that's fine. Then that's the way you should go, because you should listen to your own instincts. But if you feel like, well, you want to talk with them in prison, for example, you do that. And maybe you can have like change mails between each other, and you can teach this person how they should think and how they should act, because this is a teaching situation. Also, the Queen of Pentacles is a teacher of love, unconditional love. And it can also be that you start to tell people that you really love how they should treat you, so you will be able to stay with them in a love relationship, because this relationship means so much. So you start to communicate that love and communicate how it feels, like teaching them how they should treat you, so you will be feeling that you are loved. So it's a lot of patience I'm feeling here. But then we come the Page of Swords, and we can see the little knife here with the Strength card has has become a sword. So I'm thinking this is like a key card, because it's talking about your inner child wants to have its voice heard. And now it's strong enough because it's backed up by your soul. So I think you are going to tell people more directly how they affect you and what you see. And but you're doing it with like a calmness. So it's very like a diplomatic kind of feeling to this. And here we have the Ace of Cups. So that's love straight from the source. And it's very vulnerable and naive. It's like the innermost treasure of you, like your inner child and the source connection. It's like the contact I was talking about to the divine. And we can see with the fishes there that they are a little bit scared. So it might be very scary to be very vulnerable and tell people exactly how you feel. But you do it because you have this beautiful connection with the divine now. And you don't taint that connection with lying and saying, well, I'm all fine. No, there was no problem. No, it didn't bother me. So, you know, narcissistic people, for example, they prey on people being nice and following social codes and rules, because they are acting like on the brink of those codes and social rules. And they are taking advantage of the fact that you are so nice that you don't tell them what you see. But here with love, you will tell them what you see. Like, no, you can't stay any longer. I'm tired now, and you need to go. And it can be like that, or it can be I see that you have taken advantage of this situation a little bit, and I'm not happy with it, so you have to change your course of direction. So usually we don't want to do that, because we want to have, you know, no tower situation. We want to keep the peace, like with the Two of Swords, rather being silent and, you know, hiding like how we feel inside instead of telling. But here you definitely tell, but you do so from a very grown-up perspective. So you will be able to deal with whatever comes. Like if there will be a conflict, you will be able to explain yourself in a way that doesn't hurt the other people's feelings too much. You don't hate the person, you just don't like the behavior towards you in this situation. It might be a misunderstanding, so when you tell, maybe it will just dissolve and people will understand each other better. So it's like taking out a troll from the cave, and it will burst into flames in the light of the sun. So there won't be any troll anymore. This feeling of swamp and like, you know that something is wrong, but you can't put a finger on it, so you won't tell. But here you will tell, I feel something is wrong. I can't put a finger on it, but I want us to discuss it because it doesn't feel right here. And you stand by that. You rather sacrifice the situation than yourself. That is very important. So this beautiful connection that you have with nature and your soul and everything is kept intact, because the moment that you betray yourself and say, okay, so well, it was no problem then, I guess. Because you want to have peace and quiet, or you don't want to act like a crazy person or whatever. That is the moment when you soul out your inner child and your inner like vulnerability. So don't do that. Keep yourself strong, and if the person doesn't want to discuss, it's better that you cut off that person and, you know, move away from them than to let them destroy your vulnerability. But there's a lot of love here, and I think you will be able to say the things that you have on your mind. And it might be that it's the hurt child from the past that wants to talk, so it might misinterpret the situation. It might be that you have a lot of projections, so you might come out as a fool in the end anyway, but that doesn't matter when you are in your soul, because it just grinds away a little bit of your ego. It's okay to be the fool. It's okay to do mistakes. The important thing here is the truth. Like, if you feel like the other person is out to get you and they can reassure you that they are not, and you believe it, then the problem is gone. And it was just one of your projections. And then it's fine. And you say, I'm sorry, okay, it was a mistake. It's me that's obviously too much on my toe in this situation. And it's okay. And everyone feels better afterwards, hopefully, okay? But anyway, keep it real. You shouldn't sell off the truth here. It's very important for the love, okay, to be able to be there, for people to be vulnerable with each other. There needs to be truth. You build like security in a relationship with consistency, like the same consistent behavior. You just show the same behavior, the same loving behavior, so the person gets safe. And you also say the truth all the time, so the person gets safe. And the other person does that to you. It's built an immensely strong relationship if you can do that. If you can't, then you have problems. Then you're out on the swamp again, and everything is like unstable like this. So here we have the future, and it was the Queen of Pentacles that's showing the direction here, and we have the World card. So it's showing that you really have, like, you are in a moment in time when you can heal this old karma with you, all this old trauma that you have. It's easy like that. It's just need you to come in contact with your inner nature. We have the 21, the World card here. This is the last card of the major arcana. It's connected to the Empress also. 2 + 1 is 3. Empress, and you have the Fool, 21 and the Fool. And you have the Fool first and 21 later. So it seems like you, when you contact your innermost like vulnerable self and the most like naive self of you, becoming that true nature of yours, you will be able to heal the karma. So it's very important with this vulnerability. Yes. So it looks very promising for the mission to actually be done now. You can heal your old wounds, like with all the relationship that you have had now, this Christmas. So that's rather amazing, yes. Next card is 4 of Cups, and it comes underneath the 3 of Swords and the Lover. So it's very important that you are very like aware of your emotion when you are in a relationship. Like if you're talking with a person and you suddenly feel like an uncomfortable feeling and you can't really remember why you had it, you say, okay, we need to stop the tape. I feel an uncomfortable feeling here. What was it that you said recently? And they say, well, I talked about this and this and that and that. And you know, okay, yes, you reminded me of that I need to talk about this with you. Okay, so you bring up something that you have kept in storage. Or it might be that they said something rude and you didn't even reflect because you were like, you were put on a mood that you should always be nice with this person because they are a nice person. So you don't react when they say like a rude thing that you take as rude. They don't have to mean it. It's just you taking it as rude. So it's like you need to get aware of what's happening underneath the surface of emotions in your relationship, and you need to put that into the light. So become more aware. Like when you talk with a person, have an eye inside of you. Like with Odin, he sacrificed one eye to have in the wisdom well. So that is one eye in this, okay, the Ace of Cups. One of your eyes, you feel like always a little bit like attention to what you feel inside when you talk with a person. So you will be able to communicate what your inner child feels in this situation. So you will be able to act naturally instead of like acting accordingly to certain projections. Like now I am with a teacher, then I need to show respect, whatever they say. Now I am with my mother, so I need to be very careful so I don't hurt her, whatever she says. Now I am with my best friend. She means the world to me, so I don't say anything that's wrong. And now you need to instead not have those projections, but rather be like, I am with a person here, and it's kind of the first time I am here with this person. I mean, here in the now, and I'm going to act like very natural in this situation, and I'm going to catch every time my emotions does a spike like this, I will be able to tell them like, okay, that was a little bit hurtful. Or if it spikes like in a way that makes you feel the most inner like love to them, you say, God, I love you so much in this moment. You are like this perfect person. I really enjoy spending time with you. I feel this immense connection when I'm with you. So you are open with that too, not hiding things that you really feel. And here we have the High Priestess. So it seems like you're going deeper and deeper inside yourself, and you're reaching deeper and deeper into some old knowledge of yours that has been kept like in illusion or behind a veil because you had your emotion in a tight grip. They weren't allowed to roam freely in the room. But now when you connect with them like this, in this beautiful way, like we can see here with all the water in these cards, like the blue in their garments and the water that actually is her garment, we can see that this person gets in contact with old ancient wisdom, like with the Six of Pentacles here, like things in the book that they knew. Okay, so you will become more and more wise when you practice this, to not just act accordingly to the rules or how you have been taught, like the tape recorder going on every time you are with a person. Now you are with a person like authentically there in that moment. And it's something new that's being born. It's this Fool and the Ace of Cups, like a new thing with you. And you're becoming like the white and the black. So you're okay with talking about dark stuff too. Like, this is how I feel. Everything doesn't have to be like happy-dappy all the time. You can talk about serious matter too. It doesn't have to be just about the weather or where you're going to go for Christmas and things like this. It can be like, I see you're hurting. Do you have problem in your relationship with your husband? Do you want to talk about it? Like being more authentically like human beings, not just surface beings. So this is going to wake something very beautiful inside of you. The two High Priestess, the Page of Swords, and the Fool here. You're going to become a truth teller, and a little bit naive, but like totally in tune with your inner nature. And it's what your soul wants. And it's going to help probably in your relationship. And you have the two High Priestess, Two of Swords, Two of Cups. So it's definitely talking about relationship and how you act inside those relationships, that you need to become more truly you. Okay. And here we have a Six of Swords. So Six of Swords is just continuing with this. We see the precious box there where you have your jewelry, like this inner thing that needs to be protected and honored. And the Hermit here. So it's like you're getting very enlightened in the situation, and you honor whatever, like the God-given inner vulnerability. It's like the contact between the soul and the innermost part of you. That needs to be respected in order to be maintained. So this is healing. 6/6 is harmony from this Three of Swords. So I don't see so many people in your reading, so I can't really tell who is the one that you love and have this situation with. We have the Strength, that's Leo. We have the Lovers, that's Gemini. And well, Moon is connected to, High Priestess is connected to the Moon, so she's connected also to the watery signs, and you have a lot of water here, but also fire and air. So I can't say that you're with a certain person here. It's more like like in all your relationship, I think you need to think like this, because it's going to give you much more beautiful and sincere relationships. The last card here, we have a person, finally. So I think this is the person that might not have, you know, they weren't able to love you, or they weren't able to, they have, in some way, they have kept some power over you, or you have kept power over other people with being a little bit like on the edge of rude, like questioning people's like their own personality, like, why are you so emotional? Or why are you talking like that with hand gestures? Or why are you acting always so naive, or whatever? It's like an attack on that person. So many people use this to keep like very empathic and nice people on the carpet, so they won't stick up and have any power or any authority, because they kind of say to other people that you are bad, so you shouldn't speak at all. It's kind of this. Okay. So this is an energy that you're dealing with. Either you need to look at it in yourself, like, when am I telling a person that they can't be their natural self? When I'm telling them that, oh, try to behave here, don't be your natural self. When are you doing that? And are you ashamed for other people because you do say that? Is it like they're triggering something inside of you that is not allowed, because it's like you have buried something, and therefore you become a little bit aggressive here? So you have buried something. When you say to other people that, like, don't be so dramatic, it's probably because someone has told you this when you were a little boy or girl, they told you, don't be so dramatic. And when you see other people that are being dramatic, you're trying to help them to behave so they will be loved. So you're kind of selling off yourself and you're selling off the other person, so they will be loved by an unknown authority that's kind of judging you. So it's like living with this monotheistic God that's always above your head and telling you that's wrong, that's right, you should love me, you shouldn't love yourself. So you need to be very aware here about why you are taking certain actions and why you are saying certain things. Like, don't attack people's most inner vulnerable core. Let them be whatever they are, and try to support them, like, only with what they are doing towards you. If you feel like a person is over dramatic, tell them, like, you make me feel very over emotional because you're always talking about this very emotional, sad things. So I'm getting sad too. I want to have a relationship with you where we don't have to always talk about sad things. Can we talk about something without being a victim? So then you're talking from your perspective. You're not telling the other person how they should act or behave to be able to be loved in a world where the rules is like invisible and just hanging over you like this. For most of you Capricorn, it will be that someone is not going to accept this with your new awakened self, and they will try to attack you for it. They will try to attack this. They will try to make you go back into the way you were before, and they will try to do it in the way that works before. Probably it worked to make you feel like underneath the boot of authority. And probably you got scared then and thought, yes, there's something wrong with me, I shouldn't be like this. But now, when you are this in tune with your natural self, you don't reflect over it in that way. You say that, well, I am a rather dramatic person, and I like to talk about like deep things, or I explain myself. I have a vivid body language, and it's love me for it. Don't try to change me. You are going to have to stand up for who you are against some kind of authority, I would reckon. Okay. Or it might be a air person as well, or any kind of person coming out like they follow a lot of rules, but they don't know their own feelings. So they don't know that they follow rules to avoid kind of bad feelings. They don't want to have a bad feeling. So they are actually trying to save you from having a bad feeling or making a fool of yourself. We have the fool here as well. Don't be so natural. Oh. And here we have this card from the Oracle of Visions. Sorry for my throat. It's from Zero Marquette's Oracle of Visions. And it shows like someone wants to call you back into the cage. Can you please act accordingly with the rules? But you are a butterfly. You are not supposed to be in a cage. So you are supposed to be your natural self. We are supposed to come in multiple colors. We are not supposed to follow like this chest. This is the only way you can move. No, this butterfly can move in like sorry. it wants to move in all directions, like in its natural space. And here we have the kitty cat. You remember the lion from this card. So the kitty cat is thinking like, oh, am I supposed to be a kitty cat or a lion? I don't know. What is what is expected of me? And we see the sun roses. It's also connected to Leo here. So what about to say of this card? This person is naked underneath the garment. So I think they also wants to be like vulnerable and true. It's like they are also naked underneath this armor. They are also insecure. So they are kind of asking you also when they are attacking you, is this allowed? Is this the truth? Is this the way we should behave? And you said no, we should be ourselves. And that is also helping this other person. Even if they are kind of attacking you, you are able to help them with showing strength here. Strength to and to align with your natural butterfly self, with this change that you have gone through. So here we have release, and we'll see what that will say. I think it's going to talk about this with the Three of Swords, how you can heal. I will read it for you. It's from the Vibrational Energy Oracle cards with Debbie A. Anderson. It's really wonderful to guide you on your inside. and I need to remember, yes, alphabet. It is that time when you need to release the toxins in your body and mind. Give yourself permission to heal yourself holistically, mind, body, and soul. Feel yourself letting go of the old patterns, the Seven of Cups here, that no longer serves you. Be happy to accept the new you that will be the transformation of the vibration of release. So I'm thinking also this with, like, if people here, if you can't teach them, you might need to release them. So you shouldn't be with, don't bend your head to any authority. Make yourself more self-reliant. So you will be able to cut off people that's actually not accepting this new you, and they can come back when they do accept you. You can be like very easy with forgiving because you are the fool here. So when people are acting nice, you are nice. When they are not acting nice, you are not nice. So it's very simple. So it became a very long reading for you, Capricorn. I hope it was of help anyway, and I want you to take really good care, and I welcome you back to my mid-month reading that will be in the beginning of December. Okay, bye-bye.